Hey everyone. So I went in before and got Pfizer. I got the Pfizer vaccine number 1 and 2, the double dose of Pfizer. So I just went in yesterday and got the Moderna. I got the Moderna vaccine. Went into Costco and they had me give them my driver's license, my ID, and insurance card. And then I fill out a form. And really, I was just a walk-in. I walked right in, talked to them. After I filled out the form, they had me wait a few minutes over by the pharmacy door. Then she just said, after a few minutes, she said, "Come in there." I walked in, sat down. She apparently got the vaccine out with a small needle on a syringe and just popped it in my arm and really fast. I must have injected it, and it was so fast. She just really fast, and then put a Band-Aid on it, I guess, and I was done. She said, "Wait 15 minutes." Like they did at the Pfizer injections, they want you to wait to make sure you don't get faint or have a reaction or something. So I just waited, sat there, looked at my cell phone, and waited for about 15 minutes and then left. So now why did I get it? Well, they promote it in the news constantly. I guess another thing is my family all is for it, for one. Brothers, I never talked to my brother about it. I guess my sister is really for being COVID aware and being careful of COVID stuff. And my mom is a nurse and she's always promoting the vaccine. And I think my dad gets it too, but gets the vaccine, is pro masks and COVID or something. But so yeah, I guess the basic thought is when you get the vaccine, I guess the statistics are just better in your favor against COVID, because if you get vaccinated, I guess what the statistics show and the science of the statistics shows that you're just better protected against, because people, of course, they show the people who get sick, go to the hospital, go to the ICU, or even die from COVID. And there's a lot of details you could think about with all that. Some people try to say that, yes, of course, they'll point out how the people that are dying of COVID are ill already or have comorbidities, but they even show some examples of people who aren't that sick who have COVID problems. There's some number of examples of that as well, apparently. And the vaccine is no 100% cure. They still have people, again, maybe they have a lot of other illnesses or comorbidity a lot of the time, whatever the statistics and specifics are on that. But they're still showing people who do get vaccinated still will get sick or even die, I guess. But my understanding is that overall, you are just statistically, better off getting vaccinated, getting the booster, and having it's just supposed to give you a higher protection, and it's just a better data showing that you're just better off against COVID to get the vaccine. So I've never had a problem with vaccines. I don't have nothing against them. Like as a little kid, I'm sure I was vaccinated against all measles, like they have the MMR vaccine, measles, mumps, and rubella. What is there? Polio? Would have vaccine for polio. I haven't pulled up the data. We could do this. We could pull up the data on all the vaccines that exist and what they protect against. Yeah, why don't we do that? I'll pull up a chart. I'll pull up some data or a website, and we'll just read through all the things vaccines protect against. Again, it's just better in your favor. My understanding is just you're more protected against. Apparently, they show all these people dying, getting sick, hospital from COVID. And again, I have no problem with vaccines, and it just seems like a no-brainer to get the vaccine. I mean, why not? Why not? It just help your immune system respond to these things better. And it really just seems positive. The vaccine thing, just overall, it just seems like a positive thing generally or overall. So I'm going to pull this up. I'm going to pull up a data on vaccines. And type in what are computer slowing down here. Oh man. What are all of the known vaccines and what do vaccines protect against? So I'm pulling this up. A vaccine is a biological preparation that provides active acquired immunity to a particular infectious disease. It is infectious disease. So COVID, what diseases do vaccines prevent against? Let's try this one here. Look at this now. What diseases do vaccines prevent against? Protect against? What diseases do vaccines protect against? Vaccines protect against infectious diseases that can cause serious illness and sometimes death. It is important to maintain a high level of immunity in the population to prevent the spread of diseases. Vaccines have successfully eliminated devastating diseases such as polio and smallpox. So there you go. Maybe people today don't know this as well, but look at that. It says it has successfully eliminated devastating diseases. So you have polio, smallpox. So those were two major diseases, and these vaccines, it says, basically eliminated. And here's a list of diseases for vaccines protect against or prevent or whatnot. Cholera. Here's COVID-19, diphtheria, some type of influenza, hepatitis A, hepatitis B, human papillomavirus, influenza, that's the flu, right? There's measles, meningococcal, mumps, pertussis, which is whooping cough, pneumonia, polio, rotavirus, rubella, German measles, Q fever, rabies, tetnus, tuberculosis, typhoid, and chickenpox. So there it is. There's a big list. Again, we could look up polio and smallpox. I mean, let's look up what polio even is here. Polio. Poliomyelitis. It's a viral infection, viral infection causing nerve injury, which leads to partial or full paralysis. Many of the infected persons do not show symptoms. So he had this polio. You can be infected and not show symptoms. I guess like COVID can be that way. It's extremely rare now, 0 cases in 2015 in the US. They had treatments to manage it, but no known cure. It can last several years or be lifelong. It is usually preventable by the vaccine. So that's a no-brainer. Get the vaccine for polio. It is usually preventable by vaccine. And it shows how it's transmitted. So yeah, I guess it really hurts your nerves or something, your nervous system, and you get partially or fully paralyzed from it. So yeah, and apparently they've basically gotten rid of it. Probably, I guess, with the vaccine. It probably used to be a big problem or something. Let's look up smallpox. Smallpox is a deadly viral, again, it's a virus, a deadly viral infectious disease. Here it says it has completely been eradicated. They had, again, zero cases in the U.S. recently. You have treatments to manage it with no known cure. Again, it says usually preventable by the vaccine. Here, I'll go to the wiki. They didn't really talk about what smallpox actually is much there. So here the wiki says, smallpox was an infectious disease caused by two virus variants. Apparently they eradicated it in 1980. Risk of death after getting it was 30% higher among babies. And it gave people extreme scarring of their skin, and some were left blind. They're showing an image of someone with it, and it looks horrendous. It's smallpox everywhere. It's totally scarred. It's your skin. It just really looks really grotesque or horrendous to get smallpox. Apparently, where it came from. They've seen it in Egyptian mummies from the 3rd century BC. It has occurred in outbreaks in human history. In the 1700s, they say 400,000 people died of it per year, and a third of all cases. So this is horrible. This is a horrible disease. And what are they saying? They're saying it has been completely eradicated, I guess, from the vaccine. Here's another photo. They're showing some kids with smallpox rashes, I guess. It's just horrible. And it's so great that simply making and creating this vaccine, I guess, can totally get rid of that. So that is really a miracle of modern science. It's really a miracle of vaccinations. So, unfortunately, there's some rare modified smallpox that the previously vaccinated people could get. Just browsing the wiki and reading it here. There's all these types of malignant, modified, hemorrhagic. God, it just looks horrible. It is a grotesque, disfiguring, grotesque disease that occurs. They're talking about the virus here. Prevention. Smallpox vaccine. Eradication here. Here's the whole history of working on the vaccine or something. They isolated it. They vaccinated everyone to eradicate it. Wherever the smallpox was, I guess they vaccinated to get rid of it. The last major European outbreak was in 1972 in Yugoslavia, after someone returned from the Middle East and contracted the virus. 175 people got infected with 35 deaths. Then martial law, quarantine, widespread revaccination of the population. And after 2 months, it was over. In 75, it was only in the Horn of Africa. The eradication effort from 67 to 79 was $300 million. The United States was the largest contributor to the program. So I guess I could read this in depth and get to know it better. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Apparently, didn't the vaccine help there? Wasn't that a major reason? I didn't read it through very closely. But anyway, now here's COVID-19. It's quite the beast, I guess.